What's up you guys, my name is Jesse and welcome to my channel. So in my previous Cadillac repair video, I temporarily fixed the annoying whining noise that was coming from the belt tensioner pulley by spraying some lubrication. In that same video, Alexander commented that I could just separate the pulley by removing the rivets and replacing the bearing inside. I'm going to go ahead and try that method out, but if it doesn't work, I will be replacing the tensioner with an original factory tensioner that Kenneth was able to find for me. I appreciate both of you guys. So I took the Cadillac on a quick cruise to see if it needed anything else, and at 35 miles per hour, the Cadillac was making a really loud wooing grinding noise from the wheels. I'm assuming it's a wheel bearing. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace the hub assemblies on both sides, and I will be replacing the rotors and brake pads as well, since I need to remove them to replace the hub assembly. I'm also going to replace the tie rod ends since the vehicle is in need of a wheel alignment. There will be chapters in the time bar so you guys could skip forward to see the repair that you want to watch. So we're a few more steps closer to getting this Cadillac back on the road. Let's get to it. Use a flathead screwdriver to pry open the center wheel cover. Spray some penetration on the hub assembly nut. Loosen the hub nut and the 19mm lug nuts while the vehicle is on the ground. Use a breaker bar and a 35mm socket. Don't make the same mistake my dumbass did and strip the nut by using the wrong size socket. Damn it. Fuck. Yeah, that's right, baby. There you go. That's how it's done, shawty. Lift the vehicle up with a floor jack and support it on jack stands. Lift both sides of the vehicle so you're able to rotate the wheel. Loosen the T50 star bit caliper bolts. With a flathead screwdriver, pry the caliper piston in so you can remove the caliper. Remove the front brake pad from the caliper. Leave the other one inside of the caliper and compress the piston using a pad spreader. There's two different sets of brake pads that are sold at your local auto parts store, but both should fit fine. I recommend the heavy duty brake pads. Clean and lubricate the brake caliper. Use a wire brush, brake cleaner, and brake lubrication to prevent noise. There are two different diameter sized rotors. Make sure that the one that you purchase matches the one in your Caddy. Clean the new rotor and reinstall everything. Well, that's if you're just working on the brakes. So let's continue. Remove the hub assembly nut. Rotate the hub assembly and use a bigger hole to gain access to the T55 bolts. Now do the same for the rest of them. Pay close attention on how the dust shield is mounted. Clean the inside of the knuckle where the hub is mounted. The inner seal looks fine, so I won't be replacing it. Alright you guys, y'all got me. The truth is, I don't have the proper tools to remove it and I just don't want to mess with it. It really does look fine. Grease the surface. Align the axle, making sure that it's straight. Add some NICs on the hub assembly and reinstall it. Don't forget to install the dust shield. Hand tighten the hub assembly bolts and then snug them tight. Install the new hub assembly nut. Lower the wheel on the opposite side and tighten that hub assembly nut as hard as you can, or torque down to 180 foot-pounds. Torque down the hub bolts at 70 foot-pounds.
That's gotta be it.
Torque the caliper bolts at 30 foot-pounds. While you're here, you might as well remove the ABS sensor, clean it and lubricate it. Use a 7/8 wrench to loosen the inner tie rod nut. Use a needle nose plier to open the cotter pin so it's straight and remove it from the crown nut. Use a 19mm socket or wrench to loosen the tie rod nut. Hammer the tie rod end to remove it. Count the number of turns when removing the tie rod end. This way your alignment won't be as bad when you drive your car.
3, 23, 24, 24.
Unscrew the old inner nut and install the new nut.
One, two, three.
Torque the tie rod end nut between 25 to 30 foot-pounds. Align the tie rod end nut to the hole on the thread so the pin can slide in and then bend the tips. Install the grease valve. Pump the tie rod end with grease. Tight the inner nut into the tie rod and we are all done. Alright you guys, so we're almost there to get this Cadillac back on the road, but there's 5 major things that I would like to take care of before I start driving it as a daily, and that is engine mounts, front and rear shocks, paperwork, fluid flush, and maintenance, so like a tune-up. And then after that, I will be featuring this Cadillac for a little small other repairs that it needs. But for right now, those 5 things are the major things that I want to focus on, so I get this Cadillac back on the road and start cruising in it. Alright, so this little cheap bucket is starting to add up. If you guys found this video entertaining, hit that like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Late.